Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Orange Blossom Social. I am your humble correspondent, Bobby Randall. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to all the crowd. The audience is picking up. Everybody say good morning back to me. Our live audience is picking up, and hello to everybody out there in Facebook land. I am Bobby Randall, and welcome to the Orange Blossom Social. The Apostle Paul, our producer, is here. Kurt's here. Fast Eddie's here. Roger and Heather are here, and the place is full of people, and it's an exciting Tuesday. And if you're keeping track, it's about 50-some degrees here in Ocala, Florida. A little chilly this morning, but awesome weather for guys like me. We had an incredible weekend here at the Orange Blossom Opry. Ricky Skaggs was here. Anybody at that show here in the audience? No, of course not. You weren't allowed in the building. Why would you? All right, anyway, Ricky Skaggs was here, and it's always good to see him, one of the top bluegrass bands in the probably in the country. Great guy, and if you want to see some real players, real people that can really play, you need to check out bluegrass guys, because man, they just, it's just them and a guitar or a mandolin or a banjo, just an instrument, and they are just absolutely awesome. Good morning, Fast Eddie. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Doing good.
You were here with us. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes. Beatles got my Beatles fixed. Ricky Skaggs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the
good.
return was here too. Yeah, they were really good. Of course, the most important thing, y'all, is Fast Eddie went on our motorcycle ride. We've been starting this thing on Wednesdays. However, tomorrow, we won't be doing that. We have a show on Wednesday tomorrow. Don't forget, Eddie. Tomorrow is what day? Tomorrow. Oh, I got it right here. Tomorrow's Easter.
Yeah.
No, tomorrow's St.
Patrick's Day. Valentine's Day.
Yeah, St. Valentine's Day. Hey, wait a second, boss, up there. You got me? Yes, you do. Okay, I got to make sure my boss has got my back. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, everybody, and we have the Carpenters here. And if you come to the show tomorrow, every lady gets a free rose. So that's kind of cool. And fellas, it'd be easy enough to get off the hook. Just show up, come to the concert. They give you a rose. You go home and go, hey, look, honey, what I did for you. So that's pretty awesome. They will be here tomorrow. I want to talk about a couple of the shows coming up at the bottom of the hour. Everybody that's watching out there at the bottom of the hour, Rusty Golden from the Goldens, I will have live on the phone here. I talked to him. I've been buddies with that rascal a long time. They're coming this Sunday on February 18th, 2 shows, and I hope you folks aren't missing the boat on this one. William Lee Golden, probably one of the most famous faces in country music. If you put his face up there, pretty much everybody knows who he is. And the Oak Ridge Boys, I think they're on their, are they on their farewell tour?
I think so. I think that's what they said. But
I saw a new picture because Bonzel has left. Joe Bonzel has left, and I think they're going to play another year. But Golden out there going full strength, and so he and his kids, Chris and Rusty, and a bunch of those people will be here on Sunday, and they've got an album project out that's really good. All the kids sing. Of course, William sings, and Chris has always been, I'm not saying it because we're buddies, but he's been one of my favorite singers. He's kind of been in the Christian world a bit, but man, they had a record out called "Keep the Faith" quite a few years ago. I actually played in their band for a while, played on some of their stuff, and played in their band live. But anyway, the Goldens will be here. I'll talk to Rusty at the bottom of the hour. I got a young lady sitting here next to me that doesn't want to be here, she said, so I need to I need to see what's going on with her real quick. And good morning, Val. How are you?
I am terrific. Good morning, everyone.
Now, Val and I have something in common, and that's strange because when I didn't know that for a while when she'd been working here, and she gets this question all the time, and the answer to the question is no. I don't think we're related. I mean, you're married to a Randall, correct?
I am married to a Randall, and when I first started it still causes concern because I got it from someone that was here just the other day. Are you Bobby's wife? Yeah. And I say no, and they say, well, are you related to him in any way? And I go, no, and they go, you're not a cousin, you're not a sister. It's like, no.
Well, we probably, if your husband is a Randall, there's a possibility if you check, and go back somewhere, it may all come back. Where did he come from? Poland?
Czechoslovakia. He's from Texas.
Yeah, but I mean, do you know where he came from before Texas?
No, all of his relatives are from Texas. His great-great-grandmother is an Indian. So
Is Indian?
Indian,
Yeah,
Native American.
Yeah, I'm Native American. So see, there we go.
See, there you go. We
Yeah,
might be
and now
related.
is he from the Fagawi tribe?
No.
Those of you old enough to remember F Troop. That was the name of the Indians on F Troop. It was Fagawi. And you know where that came from, don't you? Yeah, that's exactly right. It went over a lot of people's heads back then. It was in the 60s. But, okay, I got sidetracked. Okay. The Fagawi Indian. I am Native. I'm a Native American, too. So see, there we go. We may be, our grandparents may have, raided a bunch of these white people out here and stole their money and their anything. We don't know, right?
That is true.
Well, hopefully we got that one right there. Good. All right. Hey, so anyway, you're here for a reason today, and I thought we would see what that is.
Well, I am here because I am trying to recruit new volunteers for the Orange Blossom Opry. I will be holding a group interview on the 22nd of this month at 11 a.m. If anyone is interested, just come on in, and I will bring you into the auditorium, and we'll sit down and go over what the requirements are and what you need to do to become a volunteer at the Orange Blossom Opry.
Now, what would a person want to do or have to do as a volunteer? Because it sounds like it'd be a fun gig. Is it a fun job?
It's a fun job. We have a lot of fun. There are several things that you can do. You can take tickets. You can seat people. You can stand at the back doors so no one goes out the door during the show. You can stand at the front door and greet people as people come in. There's lots of opportunities for volunteerism.
Mop bucket?
Can I volunteer,
sometimes
Bobby?
you do have to mop.
Yeah, a little
I
mop.
want to volunteer Bobby. We'll
Yeah.
put him out as the Walmart greeter.
Yeah, Bobby doesn't do much around here, really. I just, I have one day off a week usually, y'all, which is Wednesday, and now tomorrow we're working. I'm not complaining because I don't do well with days off. Do you? You probably do. I'm just.
I don't get many days off.
Well, that's good. I don't want to say I get in trouble, but I don't do well when sitting at home. I'm not a guy that can sit home and put my feet up. Of course, at my house, there's no room for that because there's always stuff to do out in the barn. So anyway, back to the volunteers. They get to see all the shows, of course, for free.
Yes, they get to see the shows for free if you want to volunteer. That is one of the perks. We also give you a couple things from the concession stand while you're watching the show.
Yeah, awesome. All right. And so where does the person that would want to do this tell us again where they have to be and when?
They have to be here February the 22nd at 11 a.m.
February 22nd at 11 a.m. That's where you want to be. And now I'm trying to get somebody else here to call in. Okay, Val. You're welcome to hang around if you want, or you can go do whatever it is you do.
I think I'll go do whatever I do.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
Val Randall, everybody. No relation. No relation. Speaking of wives, my wife, I want to say hello to her and tell her my wife's a pharmacist and works in the emergency room at the hospital here, at the Villages Hospital, and she's a little under the weather today, so sending love out to her. One of the shows that we have coming up, folks, that's one of my favorite shows here is the Brooks and Dunn show. We're going to do a tribute to Brooks and Dunn. Eddie, can you look up that date, because I believe it's in March sometime. And it's one of my favorite shows because I'm a big Brooks and Dunn
March
fan.
17th.
March 17th, Apostle.
Yeah.
And it will be on March 17th, the Brooks and Dunn show. I believe we do 2 shows. If you're a Brooks and Dunn fan, again, this is one of my favorite shows, so I'm a little partial to it. But it's exactly the guy that sings, the singer for the Brooks and Dunn show is very weak. But the show, no, it's not true. Kenny Evans, how are you, sir?
I am great. By the way, when you did your weather report at the beginning of the podcast,
Yeah.
man, you sounded just like a meteorologist.
Yeah, well, I was, in another life, I've done other things that we don't need to get into. I was a newscaster at one point for Fox, if you can imagine me that. I had a flat top haircut and did the whole drill. Also, I've done that. Anyway, Kenny Evans is on the line with us this morning, who will be here with us. And we'll be doing 2 shows, a Brooks and Dunn show on March 17th.
And it is going to be awesome.
Yep, I just got the set list yesterday or the day before. Tell us about the songs we'll be doing, Kenny. What are we singing?
Oh, there's so many of them. We're going to cover all of the big hits out of the 90s, early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. My goodness, they had so many number one songs. Boo Scootin' Boogie, Brand New Man, My Maria, She Used to Be Mine, Neon Moon.
All of them. Now, are you going to do it? My Marie? You do it, because you want me to do it.
Yeah, My Maria, Maria, I love you.
Yeah, he's got it down, folks. I'm telling you, the guy has got it down. It'll be awesome. And I told Kenny this year that we're doing Hillbilly Deluxe. That's my favorite Books and Dunn song. I don't know why I like that song so much. We'll be doing that.
So here's the deal. And I don't know how many people's there in your audience. How many people you got there right now?
Yeah, a couple hundred. No, I don't know. We're growing every week. How about that? But we got a few folks.
Well, there you go. Well, so here's the deal. For everybody that's listening, Bobby Randall, we go way, way, way back, and Bobby has always known how to pick good songs.
Yeah, that's true.
And so Hillbilly Deluxe is another one of those that's just a great song. The title Hillbilly Deluxe. I mean, you can imagine it's a hillbilly song.
Oh,
but it's a great song.
Got banjo in it even at the beginning. So
Absolutely.
Dougie will get the banjo out. All right, Kenny Evans, everybody. Thank you for checking in. And I know you move around a lot. Kenny, where are you today? This morning?
I am actually home. Matter of fact, just about a week ago, we welcomed my first grandson into the world. Ryman Judah. We got two granddaughters. Everly is 5. Bryn is 3, but our first grandson was born a week ago. So I've been home about a week visiting my family, my new grandbaby. I actually head out again on Friday to come back to Florida to start doing shows. And so, to everybody that's there, listen, the Brooks and Dunn shows are a blast. And they usually sell out. And I mean, so you got to get your tickets.
Yeah, probably will.
Blast.
We will. We'll get these folks on the tickets. If you're down around close in the area, come sing a few songs with us. You're always welcome on our stage. You know that.
I always love doing it. I got to hang out with you guys and Gene Watson a week or so ago.
Yep.
Always a blast. And I love you and the guys and everybody there. Heather and Roger. Orange Blossom Opry. I love that place. Look forward to seeing you guys.
Right. Eddie, of course, Fast Eddie, not so much. We know that, but not so much love for Fast Eddie. But
he hasn't learned my song
he's
yet.
Okay.
He hasn't learned my song yet.
What's your song, Eddie?
Believe.
Eddie wants you to sing Believe. He could do it. I'll tell you, Kenny could kill it.
I'm sure he can.
All right, we got to let you run, Kenny.
I told him if he'd wash my car, I'd sing it.
I'll bring the soap.
All right, Kenny Evans, everybody, take care of yourself. Come see us, sir. Kenny Evans be here March 17th, everyone. That will be an awesome show, I guarantee you. We have lots of awesome shows, but that will be one I promise you don't want to miss. Also this weekend, the Vogues are going to be here. Now, you know a little bit about the Vogues, do you not, Eddie? You're
Yes.
a big Vogue guy. Are you a Vogue guy?
Yeah, they're originally from Pennsylvania, not far from where I worked with a doo-wop band called Fronting the Flashbacks back in the early 80s, and we opened for them. They're real popular around Pennsylvania, New York, but they had international hits. So it's a great trip down memory lane. It's going to be a real good show.
Now, you sang with the doo-wop band?
No, actually. I was do what I do now, lighting and sound behind the scenes.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And a mascot. I was actually a mascot with the Flashbacks, but we won't go into that. Somewhere I'll dig out a picture of that.
Oh, no, we need to ask. What did you
I
actually
think we
do?
need to just pass right along on that.
Yeah, that was before the spandex days, but it was still pretty cool, though.
Eddie and his spandex days. Well, the Vogues are going to be here this weekend, so you might want to check that out if you're a doo-wop guy. They're pretty awesome. I spoke with them the other day. Did you enjoy this weekend, Eddie?
Oh yeah. It's bluegrass has never really been my thing until Rhonda Vincent came along. I know Ricky Skaggs from his country hits. I was a disc jockey playing Ricky Skaggs' country hits. So but speaking of Rhonda's coming too. We definitely gotta push that show because Rhonda Vincent. Of course, we might as well lead into my album of the day.
Oh no, what is your album?
My album. This is Rhonda Vincent, not only autographed her poster of when she got inducted into the Grand Ole Opry, but it's, of course, the album she did with Gene Watson. They both signed it, 45.
Yeah.
And, of course, the most famous thing that Rhonda did is while I was sweeping, she'd come up and wanted to sweep me off my feet. The picture right there of she's a character. Bobby can tell you some stories about Rhonda Vincent. She is, if you've never seen bluegrass or you're not a bluegrass fan, like I really wasn't until I seen Rhonda Vincent. This lady never does the same show, always different shows. She's doing 2 of them. But, yeah, she's a trip.
Well,
Love
if
her
Ricky
on Savannah.
Skaggs is the king of bluegrass music now, Rhonda Vincent surely would be the queen. Yes, she's awesome. Rhonda Vincent is a prankster, so that's her deal, and she is liable to do anything. One time I was in Canada. I was in this band called Confederate Railroad, and we were touring in Canada, and Rhonda Vincent was on the show with us. And I can't remember if she was first or second, I don't really know, and none of that matters. But what matters is Confederate Railroad had a big hit called Trashy Women. And so we're playing Trashy Women, and out on the stage comes this, what you would think looks like a drunk Marilyn Monroe, blonde, big blonde wig, and red dress, not a lot of dress in the front, I'll just leave it at that. More dress everywhere else than right in the front, and high heels and makeup, bad makeup all over the place, looking like anyway, like a karaoke singer at the county line. That's kind of what she looked like. Anyway, all over the stage, stumbling all over the place. And who was it? We're looking up, going, who the hell is that? You know, security, get this whatever off the stage. And anyway, it was Rhonda. So that's some of her pranks in the past.
The last time she was here, the band's playing, the Opry band's playing, and she just comes walking out. I want to play. I want to
sing with you guys.
Yeah, and then so I bombed her with the Jets. Remember, I got the picture on here of her scared. The Jets came down, and it was fun. She's
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, she also, during her show, I was sitting over there watching her show, and she just stopped her show and said, Bobby, go get your fiddle. Well, at that time, her fiddle player's name was Hunter, and Hunter is like a world champion fiddle player. Been in all these fiddle contests all over the United States, and like not statewide, local-wide, but national fiddle champion. And she wants me to go get my fiddle. I'm going, what are you, nuts? And no, go get your fiddle. And she's very persistent, and so she said, well, we'll just stop the show, and everything will just come to a halt, and we'll sit here and talk to you. Go get your fiddle. So I had to go get my fiddle and get up and play with her. But she was kind. She had me play. We played Faded Love. So she's very kind. Anyway, Rhonda Vincent, that'll be something on March 2nd you want to see. I'll tell you somebody that's coming too that's a little exciting is Little Texas is going to be here. They're another band. There was a bunch of guys that there used to be what we called in the music business hotspots, and hotspots is where I don't know where y'all folks are from, but probably in your hometown you had a local watering hole where people played country music, and some of those places had really good people, people that were excellent players. Some not so much, but anyway, one of those hotspots, of course, was Beaumont, Texas. And there was a honky-tonk down there. And so what they do when they find out all this sort of stuff, record labels will send A&R people down to see some of these people. Hey, what's all the hustle and bustle about this guy? So when they went to Beaumont, Texas, they found, of course, Mark Chestnut was there. They drug Tracy Byrd out of that same place.
George Jones.
Beaumont, Texas. Yeah, of course, George Jones originally from Beaumont. Well, anyway, one of the hot spots was in Atlanta. And there was a place there that I played, everybody played, that went through the circuit that was called Miss Kitty's. And a lot of folks played at Miss Kitty's. So all the people to get signed out of Miss Kitty's was, let me think now, Travis Tritt, Confederate Railroad, John Berry, I might be missing somebody, but the other one was Little Texas. And all these guys played over there, like back then they'd have music, 5 nights a week. And so the A&R people would go to these different places around the United States when they would hear about these little hot spots. Never heard of a hot spot country music in Pennsylvania, Eddie? I don't think I did.
No.
Yeah, what's that one town up there? There's some strange...
Intercourse.
Yeah,
Intercourse, Pennsylvania. No, I've never been there.
Eddie, why are you from? You've never been to Intercourse?
No,
Why
I think
would
it's in
you?
the middle of the state.
Why
Erie is way up at the tip. It's actually right on the Ohio and New York State line.
Okay. So anyway, no country music hotspots, not much up north. But anyway, so that's where Little Texas is from. That's where they got signed. And they had a bunch of big records out. God Blessed Texas. And, of course, my Love, some of those other things. And they will be here March 9th for 2 shows. So it's a real band. I'm a band guy, as you all know. So Little Texas will be here. That'll be something to see. Hey, an apostle, if I bored you to tears, if we have a question, let me know.
Well, that's what I was actually looking up.
Okay. Any questions in the audience this morning? You don't have none? You don't care about anything? You, sir, you all right? Okay.
You also got Twitty and Lynn coming, the granddaughters of...
Question?
Oh, yep, got a question.
Yeah. He's going to hand you that microphone. You hold it right up there close.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Just want to know how Kevin is doing after his hip surgery.
You know, I saw Kevin on Facebook this weekend. He changed his profile picture to his dog, Patch. But I presume he's doing okay. I don't speak to those guys much. Hopefully, Kevin will come around. You know, Kevin retired, and everybody... Everybody misses Kevin. Kevin was awesome. Yeah.
Hey, Bobby.
Yes, sir.
They postponed his surgery, but he's doing okay.
He postponed his surgery, and he's doing okay from the apostle. Excuse me, the Apostle Paul. So there it is, and hopefully he'll be fine. He'll come back and visit though sometime. We'll get him up to play a few songs. Where was I?
Twitty and Lynn.
Twitty and Lynn. Now, if you're a fan of Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn, why wouldn't you be? Then you want to be at the Twitty and Lynn show because they are grandson, granddaughter of the obvious. And they'll do what? They'll sing their grandfather's songs and their grandmother's song. So there you go. See, when you're like that, you're born into a job. You're not like a guy like me that's got to figure it out for himself. You just say, you know what? I'm going to just go sing my granddad's songs. If I sang my granddad's songs, it'd be Indian songs, boom, 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 okay. Whatever, or Kumbaya. But anyway, so they got a gig for the rest of their life, singing granddad songs, grandma songs, which is awesome. And they will be here February 25th. Trey, Twitty, what's her name? Eddie?
Taylor.
Taylor?
Taylor.
Yeah.
Taylor. Okay, and Taylor Lynn on a Sunday. So there you go. That's some of the stuff coming up is Twitty and Lynn. I think they were pretty good. We backed them up last time they were
Yeah, a
here.
lot of great stories from, that you don't know unless you're a family member. Loretta's stories, and it was really fun.
Yeah. Do they tell stories about their
Oh, yeah.
grandparents?
I don't remember what story she told about Loretta, but it was really, it was something to do about, somebody had asked her if Loretta had ever had an affair with Conway, and she said it was a really cute story that her mom and grandma told. She'll tell it again, so be here and
Well,
you'll
Eddie,
hear
you
it.
got us all hanging on the edge of the seat. All these people are out here now going, well, what is it?
No, she said it was.
She did or didn't?
No, she didn't. But she said in another lifetime, it was so funny. It was something really cute. Like I believe I would have wrangled that something or like that. It was really cute. Their story where she said that.
So
I
here's
guess people just presume that, right? I was out on the Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton tour for years, and everybody kind of figured Kenny and Dolly had a thing going, and that was not happening. That wasn't not the case.
March 8th, we got the 3 Redneck Tenors on March 8th. It's a really fun show.
We do?
Yeah, it's a comedy kind of sing along type show. They're great.
Yeah, I didn't stay and see those guys, but I heard they were awesome.
It was fun. Yeah, very
Yeah,
fun
and
show.
they'll be here March 8th. We got a couple different things coming this year.
Yeah, and that was a great point. There are some really, really different shows that we're bringing to Opry. The Fabulous Thunderbirds. I love those guys. They the original lead singer's still with them. Kim's still with them. They wrap it up. Tough Enough. They were all over the radio in the 80s.
Do me a chorus of
It's
Tough
a rock
Enough.
and blues.
Ain't
Wrap
that-
it up.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's why I'm not allowed to sit at the table because I'd sing.
He wants to sing, and then that.
I'm not a singer.
But one of the Van Zant boys were in that band too.
Oh yeah.
So it was
Jimmy Vaughn.
Yeah, it was
Jimmy Vaughn. That was actually Stevie Ray Vaughan's brother.
Oh, it was Steve.
Yes.
Well, I knew it was somebody's brother. Was in there.
Blues, great rock and blues. Definitely a must-see show. There.
All right, they'll be here on
the
the 16th of March. Come and get your blues worth on the Fabulous Thunderbirds. They'll be awesome. I never saw them. All the places people I played with, I've not played with them. So I got a couple more minutes to ramble on here. I'm going to try to get, for those of you watching, I'm going to try to get Rusty Golden on the phone. I'll remind him of this story. Out of all the places I've been and all the things I've done and all the people I've hung out with in my life, Rusty Golden, I can't remember what it was, made me laugh harder than anybody I've ever known in my whole life. And it was in, maybe he'll remember what it was. It was in the Salt Lake City airport. And we were playing jackpot. We'd played jackpot out there for a weekend or 3-4 days, and flew into Salt Lake. We're flying home. I wish I could remember what it was about, but it was one of those where I laid on the ground. I don't do that often, and laughed, like just gut laughed. That's how funny that was. Also played in a band with Rusty and Chris both. We had a little band called Dallas County Line, and we didn't have any hits in the United States, but we had 2 #1 records in Australia. So we went to Australia and toured and played over there. I played on the Australian Country Music Awards show. And there was this kid that was open for us that played guitar that was thinking he was going to have a promising career. His name was Keith Urban. So he was our opening act over there. Kind of weird.
You're going to make me dig because I might have a Dallas County Line.
Oh,
45.
no,
I
you
may
do?
have a 45 of that. That sounds really familiar.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to dig now.
Well, we had a record in the United States here that was called Honk If You Love the Honky Tonk. It was written by Kix Brooks. And we had a big video on it. And we had all these country music people in the video. I played fiddle, and Bo Jackson was in the video. Herschel Walker was in the video.
Wow.
Chet Atkins was in the video. Somebody else, I can't remember. It was a big video. If somebody prowls around, you look around out there on your phone, you might be able to, it might pull up on there. And then we had another song. Our second song was called Too Good Looking to Still Be Looking. And you're too good looking to still be looking. And I think that got like in the 40s or 50s or something. But in Australia, both those records went like #1. So that's where we went over there and toured. That would be, I think, 1997. And Rusty was our piano player, and Chris was the drummer. I was the guitar player and fiddle player, and who else was in that band? Jack Daniels, my buddy from Highway 101. Anyway, if you have a Dallas County Line record, Eddie, I will.
I'm going to look for it. That sounds really familiar.
Yeah.
I may have that.
Well, with
You're gonna
all
make me
your
work.
what is that stuff called? Memorabilia.
Memorabilia, yeah.
Yeah, I think, as I just look at you, you're my friend, but I think you might have a problem, Eddie.
Oh, I've got a lot of problems.
I've never seen anybody quite like that. Don't you have a whole house full of...
Hey, I'm maybe taking a road trip to get a Cyndi Lauper platinum album today. I'm thinking about it.
Dear God in heaven, help us. To get a Cyndi Lauper what? A real album?
Girls Just Want to Have Fun, autographed frame gold album.
By
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper?
Yes. Signed.
All right. Well, I'm trying to grab a guy on the phone here so we can jabber a little bit, see if I can get him to answer the phone. It's only 9:30 in Nashville. See if he answers. Trying to find Rusty Golden.
Hi, buddy.
There he is. Good morning, sir.
How you doing, Bobby?
I'm good, my friend. I've been talking about you a little bit, and Rusty Golden, everybody, online with us. Everybody's giving you a round of applause here, Rusty. He'll be here on.
You showing a pretty picture of me?
I don't have a pretty picture of you, and Rusty's a pretty boy. But I did tell him the story. I said, Rusty, and you know this story. We talk about it all the time. Out of all the people I know in my whole life that I've been around, Rusty Golden made me laugh harder than anyone I know in the Salt Lake City airport. But I can't ever remember what it was about. We might not be able to. We might not be able to say, but we had gone to Jackpot. Remember, we played a few days out in Jackpot, and we were at the
I was talking about that gig with Dad the other day.
Yeah,
And how you used to run up the stairs.
I did. I was trying to get healthy. I would run up and down the stairs instead of take the elevator. So I don't know that I do
I
that.
know. It caused a lot of pain for me because my dad's like, that's the way you need to be.
Oh, no.
Don't throw that on me here.
That's funny. Well, Rusty, we're really excited about y'all coming. Tell us a little bit about what you guys have going on, because this thing's really seemed to be taking off with your dad and you and Chris, the boys.
Yeah, well, it's taken off, but it's, it sounds kind of wild, but it's, Dad is still with the Oaks, and they've still got, booking dates and stuff, so it's kind of wild to try to fit good days around what they're doing, because they want to, promoters want to have them on good days too, and so that sometimes we have to take Tuesdays and Wednesdays instead of Fridays and Saturdays, which, is what everybody wants anyway.
Rusty,
Anyway,
how did this come together? Tell me how this how did this start? You guys, I mean, I know you're family and you've been singing forever,
yeah,
but
I mean, really, it started back when we were playing together, Bobby. I mean, it's not a new thing that Dad. I mean, it's a new thing for a lot of people that that didn't really know us back then.
Right.
But we started it back then, as far as when Dad was booted out of the Oaks.
Right.
And we took him on the road with us. And so we practiced enough getting that kind of act together that when, Bobby, what happened is I was overseas in the Middle East playing.
Yep.
And when COVID happened, everybody was sent high. I had to come home.
Yep.
And when I did, it was a God thing. I came home and I needed to be home because my mom she had 4 months to go of living. And so it was really meant to be that I came back. It enabled me and my two brothers, since none of us could work at all because we're all in the game of music. Craig, as a driver, all the buses, Craig, it was the wildest thing to see these huge bus companies that usually, that there's usually, I saw their lot out at the end of the year after, because Craig he toured with Trans Siberian Orchestra. They work until through the holidays. And, I'd never seen that many buses before. I mean, it was 150. And Craig said, "You won't ever see it like this again." And other than the time when during COVID, it's they were taking pictures of the bus lots because nobody had ever seen a bus lot full.
Yeah, all full of buses. Yep.
Yeah. And so anyway, the COVID sent us home. We got to spend the last months with my mom. I mean, right there, because we couldn't, nobody was going out or anything. So we were at her house together under the roof, and it was really, it was as sad as it was in one way. It was really just a blessing that we got to all be together.
Yep.
We couldn't go out, and so anyway, after that. Dad had been telling me he wanted to record and record with the family. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about Chris's kids making a 3-generation thing. And that's really got exciting to think about. And before we just started putting together songs, and Dad was really he was big on wanting to cut standards, the way that a lot of really big people have done it. I was telling him, I says, well, if you think back, after Willie Nelson came out with the Redheaded Stranger, I guess, I mean, it was his next big thing was Stardust, which was all those standards.
Standards, right.
Instead of cutting another country record, which most people would have done, he makes the second album, the second record after that, all those standards. Well, Dad felt the same way, so we started going through songs, finding keys to them, and getting somebody to be able to get us a studio that would open up for us during COVID.
Yeah,
and
let you
allow
say.
us to come in and do what we did. I mean, like we shot a lot of stuff with cameras that were remote cameras. That, what do you call them? GoPros and stuff like that. That were just like put around the studio. And so there were always cameras rolling on this stuff. And it's wild to look back. You look at that stuff and it really takes you back to that time, because there's Steve Henson and all these other guys, wearing those masks. I say them and not me only because I was in an enclosed
Gotcha.
piano booth that I could take it off. It didn't bother me.
And now you have an awesome band. I know. Tell me a little bit about now. But as I picked up, in case you people missed it here, when this thing originally started, I was in the band.
That's right. And I tell you what, we were so excited having you be a part of our thing that we wanted everybody to know it. And I'll never forget us booking the Ralph Emery Nashville Now just to announce that. we made a deal. It was like, that was our pitch. They said, well, you got to pitch anything? I said, yeah, we're pitching. We got Bobby Randall in the band. That was the pitch. And sure enough, they took it, because I think during the time you were, you had your show going on.
Yeah, I was doing Be a Star, and then I was playing with y'all on the weekends. You, me, your dad, Chris, of course, Skip, Don, all the old guys.
The rest of them aren't with us anymore. It's wild to think about.
Yeah.
Lord knows why I've been spared.
Yep. Well, me too, Rusty. We were talking about that the other day. A lot of those old guys that we worked with are gone. And so let me I'll ask you this. Rick McClure is coming with you this weekend. And Rick has been down here, for those of you at the Opry. He subbed for our drummer a whole weekend. He came down here and played about 4 or 5 nights with us. He's coming down. We're excited to see him again.
I've known Rick like you have. I've known him since the 80s, maybe not like the best friends, and I didn't talk to him all the time, but I sure knew the guy, When we did see each other, it was always nice, cordial stuff. And so, I go back with him like I do you to a long, 30 years ago, really.
Well, we're really excited about having you. 2 shows this Sunday. I look forward to seeing not only you, Chris, your dad, the family, all the boys in the band. It'll be an exciting show.
Yeah,
we got 2 shows.
Everybody, so it'll be truly, it'll be a homecoming for all of us, really.
Well, I'm glad.
To you either.
I'm glad you're in that. I will tell you this, that you probably know, but when you were over there, where were you, in Belize? Is that where you were?
No, I was in Bahrain and Dubai.
In Dubai. Well, many times I had conversations with members of your family, and you know that your family is like my family. We've been buddies a long time. They were all trying to find a way to get you to come home. So maybe the Lord works in weird ways, but we're glad that you're back, glad that that's all together. And
because, I look at, it was such a good gig, and I mean that the way, it was good for me at this time in my life to have just a great residency.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have to set up every day, the grind of the touring style. Yep. And I never had that. I've never done a residency type thing ever. Yep. And to do it on my own, it was like it was something that I needed to do for myself, just to find out that, hey, I can do this. Yeah. And I did it.
Yeah. Well, Rusty, listen, I look really forward to seeing you. We look forward to hearing you. The band will be awesome. I know all the guys in the band. You guys will be here Sunday morning. I'll be here waiting for you. You take care of yourself.
Okay.
All right. I love you,
I
brother.
do appreciate it, Bobby, and whoever's listening out there. I hope y'all come see us, and we promise we'll do the best we can for you, and we're good.
We're good. That boy good.
I won't say we're great, but we're really good.
See you, pal. Rusty Golden, everybody. There you go. That's about as crazy as you get. Morning, John. How you getting along?
I was on Facebook this morning. I'm scrolling down. I go, oh, I forgot about Bobby.
Forgot about Bobby Randall. So everybody forgot about poor old Bobby Randall this morning. Out here.
Minutes away, so I came down to see
Hacking it out. All right. Well, good to see you, sir. Glad to see you hanging out here in the. Any other questions we have? We're winding up here in a few minutes, I guess. We got a little bit of time left. Paul, what's going on Facebook? Anybody out there alive or no?
They're just pretty much making comments and praising everybody.
Praising.
Yeah, they really like us.
What would they? Yeah. What could you possibly?
We got them all fooled, man. We're doing a good job of that.
All right. Well, let me tell you about this, guys. On
Bobby?
Go ahead. Question. Yeah.
I have another question for you.
You can ask questions all day.
Thank you. Other than the OBO band, who would be the musicians in the very best band for you?
Well, super group. That'd be kind of cool.
Who that I played with?
No, you
Or-
want to put together.
If you
right?
were to put together a band, who would be the super group?
Well,
I know the answer to this. Go ahead.
yeah. Well, in the Dallas County Line Band, when that's a really interesting story, and I don't want to get into it too heavy because it was very political. It involved Newt Gingrich and Garth Brooks and Dolly Parton and a bunch of other big-time people. And a guy had done a favor that helped save what they called the restaurant music. There was a bill that was going to pass in Congress where they didn't want to pay. You know when you go into a hotel and there's music playing in a hotel or in an elevator or in a public place? Well, those public places have to pay for that music. And a bunch of them got together and they didn't want to pay anymore. So they were trying to pass a law in Congress that wouldn't pay. Well, that would have cost songwriters and publishers millions and millions of dollars because they make a lot of money off that. Well, anyway, a guy that I know knew Newt Gingrich, and they all went to Washington, had a meeting with Newt Gingrich. To make a long story short, that went away, and people still pay. So when they said, "Man, what can we do for you to do this?" He said, "I want to put a band together. I want a record deal." And the guy went, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I want to put a band together. I want a band." So the guy, the head of the label, a guy named Mike Kerb, said, "Well, I know the guy for that." So he called me. And so the guy in the band who I met, he said, "I want to point to everybody in my band, and I want them to have credentials like you, like I did." And at that time, I'd played in Sawyer Brown. I hadn't played in Confederate Railroad yet, but I had been on TV and a bunch of stuff. So everybody in that band, there was a guy from Restless Heart in that band, a guy from the Oak Ridge Boys, Rusty Golden, everybody had. So that was kind of a superstar band. But one of the, I guess as far as that goes, but one of the cool things about this band, and I say this all the time, Rusty touched on it lightly about doing a residency. One of the things about playing here, meaning staying in one place, is your music can't be the same all the time. So all those bands, the Oak Ridge Boys, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's the Eagles or the Oak Ridge Boys or whoever, anybody, Ricky Skaggs, Ron, all the people we talk about, those people tour, and so they play the same songs all the time. And when you're in a band like Sawyer Brown or Confederate Railroad, those people want to hear the hits, so you have to play them. And you need to play them like the record, because that's what people want to hear. Eddie, I went to see Steely Dan, and I went with Rusty Golden, as a matter of fact. Rusty and I went to see Steely Dan, and they started out reeling in the years, and they didn't start it like the record. You know, there's 15,000 people there, and I think I'm in the 5th or 6th row. I stand up and start yelling, hey, that's not how it goes. Play it like the record. Anyway, those bands have that luxury, and so when you go see those bands, are awesome, and they should be, because they play the same 18, 20, 25 songs every night. But they go to a different town, so their crowd changes. We don't have that. I don't want to say luxury, because that's not necessarily a luxury. We don't do that here. So at the Orange Blossom Opry and the Orange Blossom Opry Band, we have to learn new songs all the time, continuously. And Roger and Heather Byers have been kind enough to, as I've gone through some band changes, I said, listen, we have to have some powerhouse players here. This band, there's many requirements aside from just getting up there playing that people don't understand. One, you have to read. If you can't read, you can't be in this band, just because you can't learn that many songs and without being able to read. So that's one thing, and a lot of guys don't. And just being able to play at a certain level. There weren't a lot of those players around here, so they've allowed me to reach outside on a national level, and all these guys, that's why everybody on the stage is from Bum Squat, wherever they're from.
Yeah, and using the word, I don't think anybody's ever used the word supergroup when it compares to the Opry, but this is a supergroup.
No, without a doubt.
This band, if you haven't been here and seen the Orange Blossom Opry Band, you need to come see this, because this really is a supergroup that what Bobby's put together with the production team, everybody, the management, everybody. This is a supergroup place. It is a residency, and I'm, you'd be willing to put this up against anybody in Vegas and the residencies.
Yeah.
It's that good.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't been here, you need to come see it.
Well, everybody in the band, as I coast along, is, let me think, I'm just thinking of everybody. Everybody has, a lot of guys, like in your hometowns where you're all from, most of you guys had local guys that played bands. And I've had guys come through here. A lot of guys come here. I'm not taking anything against them. I'm just saying, they come up and say, hey, man, I can play. I can do that, but they had day jobs. And then they played on the weekends, and there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, that's probably the way to go. It's a safer way to go, to have a real job and play music for fun on the weekend, than it is to try to wing it as a musician. And it takes a certain amount, just like there's guys that play softball on the weekends and have day jobs. There's guys that play baseball on the weekend and have day jobs. Well, those guys aren't as good as the guys who play baseball for a living, and nor are these guys musicians. So all the guys that are in this band have done nothing but play music their whole life and done that for a living, and many of them at an extremely high level. And most of them may have done quite well for themselves. So that's if there is a super group or a super band, I'm in it.
True.
And the boy and Roger and Heather gave me the I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but the green light to do that. They allowed me to do that, because they could have said, no, we just want to do this and do that, and they by allowing us to do that, we've created some kind of super group here. And all these guys have a really, really strong resume. If it's not on a national level of playing with national acts, our drummer, who has played here, he's from Orlando, but he's played on all kinds of things for Disney, movie tracks and commercials and different things for Disney. I think if you go to Disney, some of those things playing in the theme park are him playing on there. So, that's an accomplishment. It's not like playing with Garth Brooks, but it's a different type of level that he's pretty awesome in his own little world as well. So if there was ever a super group, like I said, that in my life, that's where I am right now, and I'm thankful to be there, and here as well. Like Rusty said, that traveling's okay, y'all. You don't think about that much, but you think about most people play, get off the bus and you play for an hour and you kind of hang around, but majority of the time you spend going sideways down the road at 80 miles an hour on a bus, staring at each other, and we call it cheeking. Yeah, you got to be really good friends. And cheeking is because in the lounge in the bus, if you ever been on a tour bus, there's a big lounge in the front. Then there's a door, it narrows down, there's bunks. And those bunks are relatively wide, but there's a hallway in the middle. And you can pass in the hallway, but you have to kind of face the bunks and then pass, and you end up cheeking, we call it. So you want to really be buddies and get along with everybody. That's where it gets tough out there, is you're going to be passing one another in that hallway, so you can't be hating the guy. So different world, different thing. The Orange Blossom Opry for me has been that opportunity. The other thing about the Orange Blossom Opry for me is just like this. You heard Rusty talk about how far we go back in their Golden Show. I was originally in their band. and back then when I was doing a TV show. And I've known those guys for, probably 40 years. And the best thing about the Orange Blossom Opry is everybody that I've ever worked with or crossed paths with in the country music field come through that back door. Eventually they come into this building, and I get to spend, I was out in the parking lot, and Gene's bus was out there, and the guy said, "Hey, you want a cup of coffee?" I said, "Sure." And I sat on that bus, and Gene Watson and I talked for an hour, and I drank coffee and talked about nothing or everything, anything, how you got started, who, blah, blah, blah. So for me, in my golden years of my career, how about that? On the backside of my career, I get to see everybody and get to talk to everybody, and it's just I talked to Jimmy Fortune. I got a little dressing room back there about the size of a closet. As a matter of fact, when I came here, it was a closet. I want to talk to the management about that. When I first got here, everybody had a dressing room, and they say, "Here's yours, Bobby." I opened it up, and it's a damn closet. Literally,
full of guitars.
There was all kind. Well, it's full of guitars now, but it wasn't then. It was full of mops and all kinds of things. I had barely enough room to change clothes in there, and I thought, boy, I hit the big time now. So, at any rate,
Hey, Bobby, we've got a couple on here.
Yeah, come on.
Somebody's asking, when is Dr. Carl coming back? And I
let's
have
see.
that one if you don't have it.
You know, you have to ask the bosses up there. Dr. Carl's
June 29th.
June 29th, Dr. Carl will be back. For those of you who are John Denver tribute or John Denver fan, I don't think you could go anywhere. I don't think there's anyone that could be any better than Dr. Carl. I can't imagine somebody being more spot on than Dr. Carl. Dr. Carl also has a new album out, and I played on it, Eddie, and I played all different kinds of guitars, 12-string, gut string, all this stuff. And I played the album. Nathan played it for me when it was done. And I said, "Who played guitar on that?" And he said, "You did."
Yeah,
So,
it was real fresh. It was a real fresh upgrade to John's songs. It was great.
I
Yeah.
didn't think I was that good, but
Yeah,
it's really,
yeah.
it's really good. It's really good. Dougie played a little fiddle on it,
Yeah.
some banjo on it. I think Kevin played bass, and I don't remember if there's piano on it or not. But anyways, new album. I was surprised at what I had done on there. It was awesome to get to play some of those things with him. If you get a chance, pick it up. But Dr. Carl will be here if you are a John Denver fan. Anything else, Apostle? Hey, Apostle.
Yes.
We can't talk about everything, but how were my boys last week? You went to work with Blackhawk.
They were great.
Yeah, Blackhawk was.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
They've been here before. Henry Paul and I go way, way back, and
Well, I give you a special hello to you.
yeah, I bet he did. I can't tell you all the whole story, but I can tell you shortly a quick story. I've told this before. When I joined Confederate Railroad, I had only I've been doing TV, and I had a flat top haircut. My hair was real short. So I'm out with Confederate Railroad, all these roughneck looking guys. Well, one of our first jobs is with Blackhawk, and I've known Henry Paul forever. So I go down there. We're in this big auditorium, about 10,000 seat auditorium. There's nobody there. We're doing sound check. And Henry Paul addresses me over the PA system. And there's people around, but like you wouldn't believe. "Ladies and gentlemen," I can't tell you what he said. But all I can tell you was that ended up being not only my nickname, but ended up being all of my identification on all of my Confederate Railroad, my road cases, on everything they put, that was what they used for my name. So I can't tell you what it is. All I can tell you is everything says BFR on it. You figure it out from there.
I'd like to see a picture of that.
Oh, I still have it on one of my guitar cases right back here in the back. On one of my Les Pauls, it's got a piece of orange and they took all my guitar chords, every one of them, and made them pink ends on them. Put pink ends on them because I looked such like a sissy boy. I had real short hair, and I looked like a dork, I guess. This morning I woke up and I looked in the mirror, and you know how sometimes you think you look like somebody, like a celebrity? I looked in the mirror and I thought, man, I look like Howard Stern. I've been confused for him before. In New York, somebody said, "Hey, you Howard Stern?" I said, "No, get away." We only have a few minutes left here, winding up. Then there are some tickets available for this weekend show. Henry, is it Cho or Chow? What is it? Somebody
Cho.
help. Cho, Henry Cho, his show sold out, and our contest is going really, really well. Those shows are on Thursday night. As you know, we're in the middle of this contest. I got to tell you, boss, I generally I don't mean this wrong. I don't pay attention because it's so hard for me. I'm the band leader. Every one of these people, you have to read music. So my face is buried, as all the band is on Thursday night, buried in these charts, trying to play perfect for those people. Rarely do I look up and pay attention unless somebody's really bad and made a mistake, and I'm trying to catch up and get everything back together, or somebody's way over the top, and I go, whoa. And right now, Jake Reynolds has kind of been a favorite, who's a blind guy here, and he's pretty awesome. But that, is it Ty?
Ty Love, what a name.
Ty Love, yeah, that was going to be my name, I thought.
Ty Love.
Ty Love. Anyway, shut up. Anyway, Ty Love is pretty awesome, and I already see right now a tough finals right there, and I can't say anything to these guys because I can't help anybody. I can't say, hey, do this, but I will say over this thing, one of the keys to winning this contest, if you two are listening, is songs, because both of those guys sing awesome. As a couple other people in there are real good too, but those two guys I see being really, really good and really, really equal. As a matter of fact, when Ty walked off stage, Keith turned to me and he said, boy, I see a Nashville producer in that guy's future sometime, because I do. Those guys are both good. And the key to winning this for them, because they both are awesome, is going to be to find that song, come out here and sing that song that can get all you people going crazy. It's going to be a tough contest. So it's going to be awesome. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. So we got that's going to be good. Both those guys will be good. Rusty's saying thanks. I could have talked to you for an hour. We'll probably catch up anyway. Yeah. Oh, he's bringing John Rich. No kidding. That's wild. All right, not that John Rich, y'all. Different one. This John Rich played for Tanya Tucker too, as well. Our bass player, our new bass player. Y'all need to Google his name sometime. I hope the folks appreciate how lucky we are to have somebody of his caliber in our band. The guy's played everywhere with everybody. Played with Trish Yearwood when she was huge. Played with Tanya Tucker back in the day, in her day. He played with Peter Frampton for 2 years. Keith is the real deal. Humble guy, so humble, and a great singer. He's been able to bring us back. And boss, in closing, I'd like to address a Facebook post. There we go. Facebook post that was brought to my attention. I won't say anything about who posted it or anything. All I will say is because of our new singer, it takes certain kinds of singers to sing certain kinds of songs. In my world. Again, in the part-time world, people will sing anything. Oh, yeah, let's sing it, but not in my world. You have to be able to sing the song in the record key, and you have to be believable. So in order to sing some of these songs, I need a tenor. That's what Kevin Kingston was a tenor. Who sings high? I don't sing high. So we have our tenor. And all I have to say about that Facebook post, why do I want to say that? Facebook post is... folks, in the next couple weeks, the song Hotel California will be back in the set, and it will be bigger, badder, and better. So you can't see, but both of my bosses are doing the touchdown. But it takes a while. A song like that's not something you just sit down and play. Hey, let's play Hotel California. Okay, there's tons. Those guys that took 2 years to make that record, they said that song, they worked on that song for 6 months. All those guitar parts are intricate. And now I've got a guitar player, and we'll play all that stuff exactly like the record. And so it just takes a while, and we're working on it. There was a post up that said we might not be doing that song, and the answer to that is, oh, yes, we will. And So don't. One thing I can say about old Bobby Randall here, I'm a little old and a little beat up, but don't ever count me out, y'all. I'll always be in there for the fight. All right, love you all. Love the Orange Blossom Opry. Thank you all for showing up for the Orange Blossom Social. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the air. We'll be back every Tuesday morning here at 10 o'clock. Tell your friends and fans. And usually on Wednesday, we ride motorcycles. So come by and see us. Love you all. Goodbye. God bless the USA.